Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on ailments, continuing with infections, infestations, and the immune system, starting with the letter D, Part 1. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Please refer to my How to Use Homeopathic Remedies video before using the material in this video. I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on specific ailments, but I've broken these ailments into categories for easier reference. I'll begin with ailments of the mind and emotions, then move on to ailments of the brain and nervous system. Then I'll address issues with your skin, nails, hair, ears, eyes, nose, teeth, gums, lungs, respiration, heart, blood circulation, muscles, bones, joints, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small and large intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidney, bladder, then ailments specific to women and then specific to men, then issues of the hormones and metabolism. After that, I'll address the issues of homeopathic remedies on infections, infestation, and the immune system, then issues surrounding fertility, pregnancy, and surrounding childbirth and postnatal problems, then homeopathic remedies that address special problems in infants, ailments and diseases in childhood, and special issues of adolescence, and finally, special issues of the elderly. Constitutional treatment involves treating the totality of the individual person. Everyone is a unique individual with a unique physiology that responds to substances differently. In homeopathy, it is recognized that people will react strongly to certain remedies, and as a result of this, they can be loosely placed into different categories called constitutional types. Homeopaths talk of, for example, phosphoric types. These are people who react strongly to phosphorus, or arsenic amalgam types, those who react strongly to arsenic amalgam. The belief is that people of one type share similarities in terms of body shape, character, and personality, and the sorts of diseases from which they suffer. As an example, nature-mure people tend to be pear-shaped, have a dark complexion, be fastidious and rigid in personality, and keep themselves to themselves. They also crave salt and suffer from constipation. As another example, lycopodium types tend to be tall, gangly, and of a stooped appearance, with an anxious expression and a craving for sweets and a propensity to produce intestinal gas. Now, of course, constitutional types have their limitations. In reality, each person is an individual, and so there are as many constitutional types as there are human beings. An account must be taken of the sum total of the person's inherent predispositions, past illnesses, diet, general reactions to the environment, intellectual and emotional features, and general attitude towards life. This is what is meant by constitutional treatment. I'll be making detailed videos of the various constitutional types after I've completed the use of homeopathic remedies on ailments. The ideas, procedures, and suggestions in this video and all my homeopathic videos are not intended as a substitute for the medical advice of a trained health professional. Consult your physician before adopting the suggestions in this video. If you're pregnant, do not attempt these techniques without the approval of your physician. So, let us continue with learning how homeopathic treatments can help with infections, infestation, and the immune system, starting with the letter D, Part 1. Infections are an almost daily occurrence, but if we are healthy, our immune systems deal with them before we notice any symptoms. Most microorganisms enter the body through the nose and mouth, in the air, in our food, sometimes on dirty fingers. Some enter through cuts and abrasions, and others invade the urinary or reproductive tract through the urethra or vagina. Many of the microorganisms with which we share this planet are harmless. Some permanently inhabit the inside and outside of the human body. A few even produce substances useful to it and prevent harmful bacteria from finding a foothold. This is true of certain bacteria in the large intestine and vagina. Some bacteria are harmless in one part of the body but damaging in others. This is true of E. coli, which is benign when it is in the colon or rectum, but harmful if it is transferred to the urethra, vagina, or mouth. Each kind of microorganism, whether it is a bacterium, virus, fungus, or blood parasite, carry special chemical markers known as antigens. Some strains of lymphocytes, which is a kind of white blood cell produced in the lymph nodes, spleen, bone marrow, adenoids, tonsils, and the wall of the gut, recognize antigens and stimulate other lymphocytes to produce proteins called antibodies, which then disable the carrier organism. Other lymphocytes directly attack and destroy invading organism. For about 6 months after birth, babies are protected by their mother's antibodies. After that, the immune system is sufficiently mature to start manufacturing its own. Homeopathic immunization does not involve introducing live or dead viruses or antibodies into the body. Instead, remedies are prepared from diseased tissue or secretions using the traditional dilution and succession method. Like other homeopathic remedies, they contain in highly potent form the essence of the source material used. In this case, the essence of the disease organism and its toxins. The body reacts to such remedies known as nosodes by sharpening its immune response. The production of antibodies in response to antigens, the so-called immune response, is not the body's only line of defense. The body's first line troubleshooters are neutrophils and macrophages, which are two kinds of white blood cells that constantly patrol the bloodstream and tissue fluids and respond immediately to the chemical and thermal signals sent out by tissues when they become inflamed. If inflammation is suppressed, white cell activity is impaired. Neutrophils and macrophages gobble up and digest offending microbes, foreign particles, and other noxious elements. The resulting pus is a mixture of necrotic tissue, dead bacteria, and dying white blood cells. Infections can be treated by killing the germs that cause them or by helping the immune system to deal with them, or both, depending on general health and the virulence of the infection. Traditional antibiotics can deal with bacteria, but not viruses. After a course of antibiotics, live yogurt or kefir eaten daily for at least 5 days helps to repopulate the gut with the beneficial bacteria that the antibiotics have killed, along with the harmful bacteria that was their main target. Homeopathic remedies, improved nutrition, fresh air, exercise, and rest can restore the coping ability of the immune system. In some cases, homeopathic remedies and antibiotics used together may be necessary. Constitutional homeopathic treatment is always advisable after serious infections. Occasionally, as the result of aging or exposure to certain viruses, bacteria, chemicals, and environmental factors, the body loses some of its ability to discriminate between self and non-self, or fails to recognize and destroy its own abnormal cells. The first kind of impairment leads to autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis and systemic lupus. The second leads to cancer. Allergies, distressing reactions to certain drugs, chemicals, foods, and other substances that seem to be tolerated by the majority of people are the downside of having an immune system. Dengue fever. Dengue fever triggers an instant scare, and rightly so. It's a viral fever spread by mosquitoes and caused by the dengue virus. It is also known as breakbone fever. The main symptoms of dengue fever are high fever with severe muscle and joint pains. Other symptoms include headache, pain behind the eyes, worsened by eye motion or pressure, nausea or vomiting, and skin rash. A few cases of dengue fever may show a bleeding tendency too, when it is termed dengue hemorrhagic fever. The bleeding may be under the skin, from the nose, gums, vomiting of blood or blood and stools. In such cases, the platelets, which are the cells responsible for the clotting of blood, in the blood significantly decrease, leading to hemorrhages. In severe bleeding, shock develops with lowered blood pressure, rapid or weak pulse, with cold, clammy skin and restlessness. Such severe cases with shock are referred to as dengue shock syndrome. Please note that dengue and dengue hemorrhagic can turn into a critical life-threatening condition, hence should not be treated only with homeopathic medicines. Hospital supervision of the patient is very essential. Specific remedies. Severe muscle and joint pains with high fever. It feels like the whole body is broken, with eye pain, headache with nausea and vomiting. Severe chill with shivering. Sweat brings relief with the exception of head pains. Use Eupatorium Perfoliate 30C. Eupatorium Perfoliate 30C is also used as a preventative for dengue fever, taken twice daily. For utmost weakness and prostration with dullness, dizziness, and drowsiness, the patient wants to lie down in silence with no one talking. Chills are in the back and travel up and down the back, and headaches and heaviness of the eyes, absence of thirst. Use Gelsemium 30C. For body ache with the worsening of pains by even the slightest movement, with extreme thirst, with a dry mouth, use Eupatorium Perfoliatum 30C. For pain that is relieved by movement and worsened by rest, use Rhus Tox 30C. For hemorrhagic dengue fever with bleeding from any mucous membrane, along with marked exhaustion with debility and utmost prostration and hemorrhages, use China 30C. For hemorrhagic dengue fever with hemorrhage and severe nausea and vomiting, use Ipecac 30C. Dengue Fever Nosode 30C and 200C can also be used. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, so I decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easy to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.